All right, those are horribly ugly wheels. It's a horribly ugly little cart. Here we see Meg in her natural habitat.
Bread day.
Bread day. It's always a good day.
It is a good day.
All right, I'll leave you to it.
Okay.
Good morning, beautiful people. Come on, sister. Let's go do things. Hey, you wanna hop on the golf cart and I'll grab stuff I need? Okay, can you move this stuff out of the road? There you go. Thank you. Come over here and grab my wheels. So I had to go to Lowe's this morning and pick up some replacement wheels. I only carry one at a time and a camera. I didn't really show it. It was one of my weekend projects. I made a drum cart that I tow behind the lawnmower, or need to figure out how to tow it behind the golf cart. Maybe I'll drill a hole in the back step of the golf cart so I can tow the thing around. So I built this drum cart. I just needed a way to haul a large amount of water to where I need it rather than dragging a hose. And while it was working, it was great. Like, it was awesome. So I had these wheels. I'd gotten them for something else. It worked great until it didn't. Yeah, so that wheel couldn't hang. So this, when it's full, is very, very heavy, and going over the hills and such when it's full, yeah, that happened. So other than that, I mean, it's been really cool. What I've done with it is I park it over there next to the meat birds, I fill it up, and then, you know, as they need water, I just take water out of this. It's got a valve. I can just fill up my 5-gallon buckets and give them their water. Something that's nice too is I can take this quick connect that's on here and I can attach it to this, and then I can attach a hose and I can park this uphill, and then all I have to do is just open this valve and water flows downhill to wherever I need it. It's been highly convenient, but since the wheels broke, this morning I'm going to fix it. I ran to Lowe's and got some like heavy duty flat-free wheelbarrow tires that I think will work. I just think my axle might be a little too small. So I'm gonna get this all fixed up and filled up and back over to the meat birds, because dragging a hose to water the meat birds 2 or 3 times a day is very time consuming. It's very nice when I can have all of my water out there all at once and I don't have to go anywhere. Now the problem I have is this axle is actually too small for these tires. Let's see if it's gonna work. Yeah, I think it's gonna work. All right, those are horribly ugly wheels. It's a horribly ugly little cart, but this was something, it was like, I think this will work. I need it to work. And it does work. So we're gonna get this set on the ground, and then I think I need to drill a hole to fit this in the back step of the golf cart so we can tow it with the golf cart. It's becoming highly convenient having this golf cart. Like, we have had a lot of fun with this thing. All right, let's get this thing set down and I'll figure out if I can drill a hole in that or not, or if we're just gonna have to use only the lawnmower to tow this thing. Okay, we're gonna pick up and we're gonna rotate so that is over by the golf cart. Buggy, I need you to get on the golf cart. You ready? Pick up. And set. Okay. This is 42 inches, 21 inches right there. Boom. And if we go just on this side of the square tubing, it'll reach. Good. Good, good. Move, sawhorse. There you go. Creep on forward. All right, looks like we're in business. Cool. All right, that works. We're back in business. I'm gonna haul it over here to the meat birds and stick a hose in it and fill it back up. I've been without it for probably 4 days. Man, it has been a hassle to have to drag the hose. I guess I'll go over here. I'll talk about the meat birds and our current setup and how the new coops are working and all of that. Honestly, this is the most streamlined we have ever had meat birds. Yeah, I'll haul this stuff over there and we'll talk about it. All right, while that fills up, I will tell you guys about our current setup. We've talked a little bit about our current setup, but not a whole lot. You guys saw me build the first one of these Siskovich style chicken tractors. The next weekend, I built the next one. So I have 2 of them now, and they are marvelous. I will say, the trick to these being great is the chick lift system. These wheels right here are amazing. If you want them, we'll leave a link to the guy's website. I think it's chicklift.com. Guy makes these, sells these. It's a game changer. The way they work is they attach to the back. You step on them, they pop up, and now you have clearance in the back. Then you can move. Over here in the front, I have a rope tied on. And when I'm moving these, I've got the rope kind of shortened. So when I pull, see how short that angle is? When I pull, it's actually lifting off the ground, and they scoot really easy. This is how you put them down as well. You step on the red. Yeah, sometimes it does that. I'm kind of on a hill, but there you go. So up and down. Pretty awesome system. So I guess I'll just go over these tractors. These tractors are pretty light. Generally, I'd say they're probably about the same as a Salatin tractor, honestly. The metal on a Salatin tractor adds a lot of weight. 2x4 construction. I think the next one I build, I'm gonna go less. I'll probably do like 2x2, or see if I could get away with like 1x1 construction. Doing the water the way we did this time. Sounds like you guys need water. Yep, you guys drink all your water. You guys are thirsty this morning. In this coop, both coops, we did these style water nipples on these pipes. Actually, these guys are big enough. They're ready to, I need to get in here and move that pipe up because they're kind of having to reach down to get it. Doing this way, the water stays clean. I don't have to spend an hour in the morning cleaning out chicken waters. The feed situation, I'm just using these feeders I made a while ago. We're using these this go around, but eventually I'm gonna make hanging feeders that I don't have to pick up. I would say that's the only like hang up with the whole system right now is I have to get in there, pick the feeders up, bring them out, move the tractors, and then put the feeders back. We are not keeping them in feed 24/7 because we don't want them to grow so fast. One of the hard things with these meat birds is, in our experience, we've left them with feed 24/7 and they start developing like heart problems. So we found we give them all the food they want all day, and as soon as it gets dark, no more feed. Something that has been kind of cool, I took a page out of Jason's book and I put solar security lights on all 4 sides on both of them. Kind of looks cool, like seeing these tractors out in the middle of the yard, and they've got lights on them. They're motion activated, so if anything walks by, they light up. We have had 0 problems with predators this year. Right now, we're about halfway through. These birds are the Murray McMurray's, it's like Big Red or something like that. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but these are more of like a heritage meat bird, I guess, if that's a thing. We've pretty much only had the Cornish cross since we've done this. We've done Red Rangers once, but we wanted to do them again this time just to, you know, try something different. But these birds, rather than having an 8-week grow out, have like a 10 to 12-week grow out. A little bit more time, a little bit more feed, but you get a more natural bird, because those Cornish cross are kind of freaks of nature. So everything, the water, the way we're doing it is just game changer. You don't have to mess with nasty water. It all stays clean and sealed. I would say my only complaint with the water system is they do kind of waste a lot of water. Watching them when they drink, they probably get about half of what comes out of the nipple when they get up there to drink. Not that big of a deal, but they can go through water pretty quick. I have the feed in a big drum. That's their feed. So I don't even have to haul feed out here. The feed moves with them. You know, you figure I'm only scooting 8 feet a move, so it's really not that bad. In general, these have been amazing. Easy to move, lots of room. I don't really have to get in there to mess with anything, so I'm not getting chicken poop all over me. I have really enjoyed these tractors. So if you're looking to get into meat birds and you can't decide on which tractor, look into the Siskovich style chicken tractors. They weren't real expensive to build other than the wheels. I'm gonna get this water filled up, get them all watered up because they're out of water right now, and I guess go figure out what I'm working on next.
So I'm gonna be making pumpkin chorizo soup for dinner, which is just like a pureed pumpkin soup base, and then I fry up some chorizo and we serve it kind of on top of it or in it. You can just mix however much chorizo you want in it. It's really fun. It's a nice fun dish and it's tasty. So I'm gonna be using the pumpkins that Brett harvested from his garden this year. I do have one here that kind of is really gross around the top. Unfortunately, because of the squash bug damage we've had this year, nothing's keeping very well. There's like, you know, when we harvest it, there's minute bug damage, which of course becomes not minute over time. It just kind of like grows and grows. And so we've been having to like quickly either use up these things or we're losing them quickly. So I'm gonna cut this one open, see if it's usable, see if it's just the top portion here that's gross or if I'm gonna have to send this one to the pigs. But I do have some other good looking pumpkins over there in the corner that I can use too. So let's cut into this and see how it is. Okay, not terrible there. Looks like, no, that's, okay. Yeah, so the bad kind of goes over there, so we'll just kind of cut this area off. Yep, not awful. Alright, since this is mostly edible, I'm gonna get this scraped out, cubed up, take the rind off, and get it ready for soup. So one of the bummers we've had this year with the pumpkins in particular, but kind of all of our squash, is it just hasn't been very flavorful. Like, it's not that deep. Like, you can see this is not a deep, rich orange color. And I think that has to do with the bug damage. I think because of the damage to the plants, the fruit was just kind of like putting all of its effort into quickly producing seed and ripening. So we're not getting the most flavor this year, which is kind of a bummer because I really do like pumpkins. But we'll take what we can get, and hopefully next year's a better year as far as the squash bugs go. Alright, I don't usually do this, but since I can already tell by the look of this pumpkin that it's just kind of going to be sort of bland, I'm going to add some sweet potatoes that Ben pulled out of the ground yesterday, and I will probably add a carrot or two just to kind of up that beta carotene taste and get some sweetness and more robust flavor in here. So that's going to go into, we're going to peel this and chop this up.
All right, it is the afternoon now. As you see, there is some random bits of lumber back here. Don't mind the plywood, that's for a different project. I have some horribly overpriced 2x12s. Lumber is ridiculous. It's painful every time I buy lumber. I am actually building a project that I have wanted to build for a very long time, and honestly, it's going to be a pretty fun project. Today, I am going to whip together some, they're called air-prune boxes. Basically, they're like a raised planter bed that will not be in contact with the ground. What they're for is for starting tree seeds. Most trees, when their roots grow, if they hit air, they self-prune. That's why they're called an air-prune box. What I intend to do with these is all of the seeds that I intend to start this fall. I've got chestnut seeds, I've got peach pits, apricot pits, cherry pits, you name it. I've got all sorts of seeds that honestly would be better if I could just get them in the ground. The only problem with growing seeds in mass like that in the ground is by the time they pop up and they're this big, they might have a taproot several feet long. There's a peach tree that is now growing kind of in our garden that I was going to dig up, and I didn't actually notice it until it was too big, and when I went to dig it, the roots are too deep. It's fine, it's in a good spot. It's like, you know what, I kind of wanted a tree here anyways. But to avoid that, you grow in a air prune box. Basically, it's just going to be 2x12s. They're going to be, I'm going to burn them right now, so they're a little more sealed, so maybe they'll last a little longer. I'll attach hardware cloth on the bottom, put some wood chips on the hardware cloth to stop the dirt from falling through, and then there'll be dirt, and that's what the seeds will grow in. And then basically, I just park them somewhere over the winter. I will get all of my seeds that I want to plant, I'll stick them in said box, and then just forget about them. Winter will provide the cold stratification that the seeds need, and then in the spring, when they're ready, the seeds can sprout up and do their thing. And I'll leave them in this box until probably next fall, and if they're big enough, then I can dig them up, I can bare root them in the fall, and then either pot them or send them on their merry way. It's just whatever I decide. So, I'm gonna get started. These are real simple. I'm gonna do, I think, like 2x6, I think. But I'm gonna grab my sawhorses, get set up, and make a couple cuts, and then get the weed burner out here so I can torch this wood. Okay, these are gonna be long and skinny. These are 8-footers, so I'm just gonna cut them at 6 feet. And they'll be 2x6. They'll be real narrow. Reason being is I have 6-foot wide 1x1 heavy duty hardware cloth, so I only have to trim it one way. I could make them 3x5, which I think I would like that size better, but honestly these will be easier to move. Alright, that actually took forever to burn. One of these pieces is really wet. I mean, that's the nature of buying lumber that goes from the lumber mill to the store in a short amount of time. They're both burned enough, both pieces, all 4 pieces. I think I said earlier I'm building 2. I'm just building 1 for today, because that's all I bought lumber for. I want to build it, see if I like it. If I like it, then I'll go buy more lumber and build more beds. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't have that many seeds. I'm pretty sure I can grow everything that I want in this one bed. I'm gonna get this put together and then go get my hardware cloth and put that on. I'm kind of waiting for it to cool down, actually, because there's still smoke.
Need a hammer?
Okay, grab the roll. Brett, you go on this side. Grab the roll and scoot the bottom of it that way. That actually
need
works.
A hammer to get it on?
Yeah, actually I do. I have told all of my friends about this, and I don't think I've actually like showed it on YouTube. If you want a really easy way to cut hardware cloth, throw out the nippers, the side cutters, the saw, whatever you got. Get your grinder. Grinder with a cutoff wheel. I will demonstrate. Definitely thick hardware cloth.
It could have been done by now if that was right.
That's the way to cut hardware cloth. It is done. I'm actually gonna grab the grinder again and lop off these little, you know, shirt destroyers, pants destroyers, ankle destroyers. I'll lop those off real quick. I'm gonna grab the tractor, load this on the tractor, take it down, put a good helping of wood chips, like the bottom like 2 or 3 inches will be wood chips because that will allow drainage, but stop the dirt from falling through. And then I just have to scrounge up dirt. I don't want to take dirt out of our garden beds, but there's a couple beds that I could probably take some dirt out of and it wouldn't be a big deal. And then I've got compost up over there, so I gotta come up with some dirt to fill this. So yeah, there's a little bit of driving around with the tractor for a minute, but I'm basically done. That was a nice, quick, easy project.
Mom, is it dinner time?
It is.
Had a feeling.
I just
Can we eat dinner?
we will. In a minute, I gotta fry up the pork.
Getting the poke all seasoned up.
Yep. And then, here, I'll show you. I'll show you the soup.
Shoot.
I simmered all the veggies until they were tender and then just stick blendered it. So it's all creamy and it's quite good actually. Just want to crisp up a little bit more and then we will eat.
Dinner was delicious.
Good.
All right, I am going to hop on the tractor and go pick that box up and take it further down to the dugout where I have wood chips. I'll put a couple scoops of wood chips in there and then figure out where I'm getting dirt because I don't have enough compost where I can fill the whole thing completely full of compost. I just need a planting medium of some kind.
I'm putting wood chips in.
Me too.
Mom, a sword for you.
A sword for me? I need a sword? Thanks. All right. Oh, your sword broke already. Okay. Well, just keep going. Ah, I think I win. Stab.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
All right, cool.
All right, this is not its permanent location, but this is usually my compost pile. Usually it's, you know, up at the top of these pallets. But I haven't been making compost. I've been busy doing other things. So what's left is what's left. That's not quite enough to fill the thing up, but it'll get me close. Now there is a lot of compost that has been raked out of in there. Here, have a weed. Here, take that. Oh, you don't like sheep sorrel? They want to eat my fingers.
You do.
You chickens are violent. Anyways, as I was saying, there's a lot of really, really good compost here that they have, you know, scratched through. And this compost is currently cooking. When it's done, I need to get that ring out of there and rake up all the compost that's on the ground and get it put over here. So there is more compost coming. So in the meantime, it's not actually time to start seeds anyways. So I can leave this here and I can wait for compost to finish up. And once it's ready, hopefully it'll be cold. And once it's cold, I can take seeds that I've been saving and I can stick them out here and get them started and just leave them over winter. That's really the plan. So that was a fun project. That was a kind of a quick and dirty project. I'm glad I only bought enough material to do one because I can start a lot of seed in that.
Yeah.
It's not like I have enough seed to where I can like, I don't know, plant 1,000 trees.
Yeah.
I've got like, 50, 60 seeds here and there of different species. So I can play around with it. I get to experiment. So with all that, we're gonna leave it right here. So we will catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.